The paradox of ruler, a philosophical exploration of authority and decision-making. The paradox of the ruler presents a profound philosophical dilemma that delves into the essence of authority, decision-making, and the limits of rationality. At its heart, this paradox challenges our understanding of how rulers and authorities make decisions, particularly in the context of their role in governance. The paradox centers on the complex relationship between the ruler's authority and the nature of their decision-making, questioning whether it is possible for a ruler to make decisions that are truly autonomous and rational. To illustrate this paradox, imagine a scenario where a ruler is confronted with the task of making a decision that affects their domain. The paradox emerges from the intricacies involved in this decision-making process, as well as the implications tied to the ruler's authority. The tension arises between the ruler's role and the decisions they must make, specifically questioning whether it is possible for a ruler to make decisions that are not influenced by biases or external pressures. A typical example of this paradox involves a ruler who faces a choice between two conflicting policies or actions. The ruler must consider various factors such as the well-being of their subjects, economic consequences, and personal preferences. The paradox lies in the difficulty of making a decision that is both rational and in line with the ruler's duty to act in the best interests of their domain. For example, suppose a ruler must decide between two policies, one that benefits the majority of the population but demands significant sacrifices from a minority, and another that favors the minority while imposing costs on the majority. The ruler's challenge is to balance these competing interests while staying true to their responsibility to serve the greater good. An essential component of the paradox is the idea of rationality. Rationality entails making decisions based on logical reasoning and empirical evidence. However, the ruler's decision-making process may be shaped by various influences, including personal biases, political pressures, and the desire to maintain their authority. This raises the question, can a ruler truly make rational decisions when these factors are in play? Another important aspect of the paradox is the concept of authority. A ruler's authority is derived from their position and the power conferred upon them by their role. This authority enables them to make decisions for the welfare of their subjects. However, the paradox challenges whether this authority alone is sufficient for making decisions that are genuinely rational and just. If the ruler's authority is based on certain assumptions or limitations, it may impede their ability to make unbiased, fair decisions. Furthermore, the paradox highlights the challenges of decision-making in complex situations. In the real world, rulers and leaders frequently face multifaceted problems that cannot be easily resolved through straightforward reasoning. The necessity of considering a multitude of factors and potential outcomes further complicates the decision-making process, raising doubts about the practicality of achieving true rationality under such circumstances. The paradox of the ruler also invites reflection on the nature of authority itself and its limitations. It compels us to question whether authority alone is enough for making sound decisions, or if other factors, such as expertise, ethical considerations, and input from others, are crucial for effective governance. The paradox stresses the need to carefully examine the interaction between authority, rationality, and decision-making in various settings. The implications of the paradox of the ruler extend beyond theoretical contemplation and have real-world applications in understanding authority and governance. By analyzing the paradox, we can gain valuable insights into the difficulties rulers and leaders face, as well as the broader challenges of leadership and governance. One significant takeaway from the paradox is the way authority impacts decision-making in practice. Rulers and leaders often make decisions influenced by the power vested in them, but the paradox raises questions about whether authority by itself ensures that decisions are rational and just. The presence of authority does not guarantee that decisions will be free from biases or inconsistencies. The paradox also underscores the importance of transparency and accountability in decision making. Rulers and leaders are often held responsible for their decisions, and the ability to justify and explain these decisions is paramount. The paradox emphasizes the necessity for decision-making processes that are open, transparent, and subject to scrutiny, ensuring that decisions are based on sound reasoning and evidence rather than merely the authority of the ruler. An additional key aspect of the paradox is the role of expertise and consultation. Rulers and leaders often rely on advisors, experts, and feedback from stakeholders when making decisions. The paradox highlights the value of incorporating diverse perspectives and expert advice into the decision-making process. By seeking input from others, rulers can improve the rationality and effectiveness of their decisions, reduce potential biases, and enhance overall outcomes. The paradox also has implications for designing decision-making systems in complex situations. In such contexts, it may be beneficial to implement mechanisms that support rational decision-making and mitigate the influence of personal biases. For instance, decision-making frameworks that prioritize evidence-based approaches, stakeholder engagement, and accountability can help address the challenges raised by the paradox. Moreover, the paradox of the ruler prompts us to think about the limits of authority, particularly in systems where power is concentrated in the hands of a few individuals or institutions. In such cases, there is a risk that decisions could be influenced by personal interests or biases. The paradox encourages us to explore ways to distribute authority more equitably and ensure that decision-making processes are fair and representative. Its implications extend across a variety of domains, including politics, business, and organizational leadership. By understanding the challenges of authority and decision-making, we can develop strategies for more effective leadership and governance. Recognizing the limitations of authority and emphasizing rationality, transparency, and accountability can help leaders navigate complex decisions and achieve positive outcomes. The paradox of the ruler provides valuable insights into authority, decision-making, and leadership. By examining the paradox, we can reflect on broader questions regarding the role of authority in shaping decisions and the difficulties associated with rational decision-making. One important reflection is the relationship between authority and ethical decision-making. The paradox invites us to consider how ethical principles intersect with the exercise of authority. Leaders have a responsibility to make decisions that align with ethical standards and promote the well-being of their subjects. The paradox underscores the need for ethical considerations to be integrated into the decision-making process, ensuring that authority is used in a fair and just manner. Another key reflection is the impact of decision-making complexity on leadership effectiveness. In a world marked by increasing complexity and interconnectedness, leaders face numerous challenges in making decisions that account for diverse factors and potential consequences. The paradox highlights the importance of developing decision-making frameworks that can handle complexity and uncertainty, allowing leaders to make informed and rational choices. The paradox also invites us to consider the role of technology and innovation in decision-making. Advances in technology, such as data analytics and artificial intelligence, can support decision-making by providing valuable insights and enhancing evidence-based approaches. However, the paradox reminds us that technology alone cannot solve all the challenges of decision-making. It is crucial to consider the broader context, including ethical and social dimensions, when leveraging technology to support decision processes. Looking forward, the paradox of the ruler remains highly relevant in discussions about leadership, governance, and decision-making. As societies evolve and encounter new challenges, understanding the dynamics of authority and rationality is crucial. By addressing the insights and implications of the paradox, we can work toward developing decision-making systems that are more effective, equitable, and aligned with ethical principles. In summary, the paradox of the ruler provides a thought-provoking framework for examining the complexities of authority and decision-making. It challenges us to consider the limits of authority, the role of rationality, and the importance of transparency and accountability. By reflecting on the paradox and its implications, we gain valuable insights into leadership and the pursuit of ethical, effective decision-making. The lottery paradox, a deep dive into personal belief versus statistical reality. Picture this. You've just bought a ticket for a massive lottery drawing, with the chances of winning being incredibly remote, let's say just 1 in 10 million. Despite the overwhelming odds stacked against you, a sense of excitement and hope fills you. Strangely, when you hold that ticket in your hand, there's an odd confidence that perhaps you might just be the lucky winner. This feeling of certainty seems strangely rational, even when faced with such astronomical odds. Now, let's widen the scope to a large-scale lottery, where each ticket carries a virtually negligible chance of winning. Even so, every single ticket holder can still maintain a sense of optimism about their own prospects. This curious phenomenon is known as the lottery paradox. The essence of this paradox is the clear contrast between the very high statistical likelihood of losing and the individual's personal belief that they might be the lucky winner. The paradox becomes even more intriguing when we examine the collective outcome. Even though every individual ticket holder holds on to the belief that they might win, the reality is that only one ticket, perhaps a few at most, will actually secure the prize. This creates a striking logical inconsistency. How can so many people genuinely believe they will win, while statistically, the vast majority are destined to lose? To better illustrate this paradox, imagine a lottery with 10 million tickets in circulation. Each ticket has a 1 in 10 million chance of winning. If every single ticket holder continues to believe that they will be the fortunate winner, their conviction seems incredibly irrational, given the overwhelming odds. Yet on a personal level, it's somewhat understandable. Each individual is unlikely to consider the probability that every other ticket holder might lose. Instead, they focus solely on their own ticket and its potential. This paradox highlights the fascinating conflict between individual belief and collective statistical reality. It shows how individuals can simultaneously hold contradictory views, believing in their own chance of winning, while recognizing that the majority of participants will inevitably face disappointment. Let's delve deeper into the complexities of the lottery paradox by exploring the interaction between personal belief and statistical probability. Each lottery participant's faith that they might win is rooted in their personal investment in the outcome. Even though they know intellectually that their chances are slim, their hope remains bright and intensely personal. This deeply held belief contrasts sharply with the cold statistical reality. From a purely mathematical viewpoint, with 10 million tickets and only one winner, the odds of winning are astonishingly low. Yet, remarkably, this statistical reality seems to have little effect on the optimistic outlook of each ticket holder. An illuminating way to understand this paradox is by examining the difference between subjective and objective probability. Subjective probability refers to an individual's personal belief or confidence in the outcome, while objective probability represents the actual mathematical likelihood of an event happening. In the lottery scenario, the subjective probability for each ticket holder is shaped by their hope and personal investment in the outcome. This subjective view can lead to the seemingly irrational belief that their ticket has a better chance of winning than it objectively does. On the other hand, objective probability reflects the true, extremely low likelihood of winning. This stark contrast between subjective belief and objective probability lies at the heart of the paradox. Individuals cling to their personal chances of success, even though they're aware of the overwhelming statistical odds, resulting in a contradiction that's difficult to resolve. the paradox goes beyond the improbability of winning. It touches on the very nature of rationality and personal belief. When faced with overwhelming odds, the paradox also ties in with fascinating cognitive biases and psychological factors that influence human decision making. People often tend to overestimate their own chances of success in low probability scenarios, a phenomenon known as optimism bias. This cognitive bias helps explain why individuals maintain a seemingly rational belief in their potential to win, even when the odds are heavily against them. The lottery paradox opens the door to a range of intriguing questions about human psychology, decision-making processes, and belief systems. It challenges our fundamental understanding of how people perceive probabilities and make choices based on these perceptions. One major takeaway from the paradox is that it emphasizes the limitations of purely rational decision-making models. Traditional rational models assume that individuals make decisions solely based on objective probabilities. However, the lottery paradox vividly demonstrates that personal beliefs and psychological factors can strongly influence decision-making, often leading to behavior that appears irrational when viewed through the lens of statistical reality. This paradox also has broader implications for how people navigate risk and uncertainty in various aspects of life. Outside of lotteries, individuals frequently encounter situations where the probability of a desired outcome is extremely low, yet their belief in a positive result remains unwavering. This phenomenon can significantly impact behavior in areas such as gambling, investment decisions, and even health-related choices. Another fascinating aspect of the paradox is its relevance to ongoing discussions in the fields of probability theory and decision theory. It underscores the complexity of aligning subjective beliefs with objective probabilities and poses a challenge to traditional models that assume rational decision-making processes. The paradox also invites us to reconsider how individuals process risk and uncertainty in their daily lives, and how psychological factors influence their decision-making in ways that defy statistical reasoning. Ultimately, the lottery paradox serves as a powerful reminder of the profound influence hope and personal belief have in shaping human behavior. Despite the cold, hard statistical odds, individuals' beliefs and emotions play a pivotal role in their decision-making processes. By grappling with this paradox, we gain a deeper understanding of the complex and often surprising relationship between probability, belief, and human behavior. In conclusion, the lottery paradox offers a captivating examination of the tension between personal belief and statistical reality. It challenges our conventional understanding of probability, decision-making, and human psychology, providing valuable insights into the complex ways we perceive and respond to uncertainty in our lives. The paradox of self-replicating machines, exploring the future of automation and technology. The concept of a self-replicating machine is a fascinating idea that dives deep into the realms of automation technology and the very nature of replication. At its essence, a self-replicating machine is designed to produce copies of itself autonomously without any external assistance. This means the machine would gather raw materials and energy from its environment to create an exact duplicate of itself, complete with all the necessary components and functions. To better understand this idea, it helps to picture a machine equipped with advanced capabilities. Such a machine would first need to collect raw materials from its surroundings. These materials might include metals, plastics, or other substances essential for building its parts. After collecting these resources, the machine would process them, transforming the raw materials into precise components through various tasks such as cutting, shaping, and assembling. Once the necessary parts are fabricated, the machine would then need to assemble them into a functioning copy of itself. This step demands intricate coordination and precision to ensure the new machine operates as effectively as the original. Finally, the machine would initiate the replication process once again, creating a chain reaction of machines producing more machines. The theoretical foundation for self-replicating machines can be traced back to the mathematician John von Neumann, who introduced the concept in the 1940s. Von Neumann proposed the idea of a universal constructor, a theoretical machine capable of constructing copies of itself using raw materials. This universal constructor was envisioned not only as a self-replicating entity, but also as a device that could build a wide range of other machines and structures. Von Neumann's work laid the groundwork for further exploration of self-replication across various scientific and technological contexts. In practical applications, the idea of self-replicating machines has sparked significant interest, particularly in fields such as nanotechnology and space exploration. For instance, in space missions, self-replicating machines could be used to build spacecraft or habitats using resources found in space. This approach could potentially reduce the need for resupply missions from Earth and enable the creation of infrastructure in extraterrestrial environments. Nanotechnology also investigates self-replication at a microscopic scale. If realized, self-replicating nanobots could potentially assemble complex structures at the molecular level, leading to advancements in materials science and manufacturing. These tiny machines could revolutionize various industries by allowing the precise construction of materials and devices at unprecedented scales. However, the concept of self-replicating machines is not without its challenges and paradoxes. One of the primary concerns is the significant demand for resources. A machine that replicates itself must gather and process large amounts of raw materials, which raises questions about the availability and sustainability of these resources, especially in environments where they are scarce or when the machine operates autonomously. The practical challenges of self-replication are substantial and multifaceted. One of the critical issues is managing the resources required for replication. A self-replicating machine must be capable of efficiently gathering raw materials from its surroundings. This involves not only obtaining the materials, but also processing them into usable components. The efficiency of this process directly affects the machine's ability to replicate itself successfully. Another major challenge is the potential for uncontrolled replication. If a self-replicating machine were to malfunction, or if its replication process became unregulated, it could lead to an uncontrolled proliferation of machines. This scenario, often referred to as the gray goo problem, involves the machine consuming all available resources, potentially causing environmental or ecological damage. Such a situation underscores the need for strict control mechanisms to prevent unintended consequences. The complexity of the replication process also presents technical difficulties. Ensuring that every component of the machine is replicated accurately and that the new machine functions properly is a significant challenge. Any errors or defects in the replication process could compromise the integrity of the entire system, resulting in malfunction or failure. This highlights the importance of precision and reliability in the design and operation of self-replicating machines. The implications of self-replicating machines extend beyond technical challenges. They raise philosophical and ethical questions about the nature of replication and automation. If machines can perfectly replicate themselves, what does this mean for human involvement in manufacturing and production? The ability to create machines capable of reproducing autonomously could radically transform our understanding of labor, creativity, and innovation. Additionally, the concept of self-replication invites reflections on the boundaries of automation and the role of human oversight. As machines become increasingly capable of autonomous functions, including replication, the balance between human control and machine autonomy becomes more critical. The potential for machines to act independently raises questions about accountability and responsibility in the context of advanced technologies. The paradox of self-replicating machines also shapes our understanding of technological progress and its consequences.
While the ability to create machines that replicate themselves offers exciting possibilities, it also demands careful consideration of potential risks and ethical concerns. The challenge lies in harnessing the benefits of self-replication while mitigating possible drawbacks and ensuring that technological advancements align with societal values and goals. The paradox of self-replicating machines offers a rich field for reflection on the broader implications of technological advancement. As we consider the potential and challenges of self-replicating machines, several key themes emerge that deserve further exploration. One significant theme is the relationship between technology and resource management. The idea of self-replicating machines emphasizes the importance of efficient resource utilization and sustainability in practical applications. Ensuring that machines can replicate themselves without depleting resources or causing environmental harm is essential. This requires not only technological innovation, but also careful planning and management to balance the benefits of replication with responsible stewardship of resources. Another important theme is the impact of self-replication on societal structures and labor. The ability of machines to replicate themselves autonomously could transform industries and economies, potentially reducing the need for human labor in certain sectors. This raises important questions about the future of work, economic inequality, and the role of human creativity and innovation in an increasingly automated world. As machines take on more complex tasks, it is crucial to consider how these changes will affect individuals and communities. The philosophical implications of self-replicating machines also provoke reflection on the nature of perfection and autonomy. The pursuit of flawless replication challenges our understanding of what constitutes perfect performance and raises questions about the limits of human and machine capabilities. It also prompts us to consider the ethical dimensions of creating machines with the power to replicate themselves and the responsibilities that come with such advancements. Looking ahead, the development of self-replicating machines holds the potential for significant breakthroughs in various fields, including manufacturing, space exploration, and material science. However, achieving this potential requires addressing the technical, ethical, and philosophical challenges associated with self-replication. As technology continues to evolve, it is crucial to approach these developments with a thoughtful and balanced perspective, ensuring that innovations align with broader societal goals and values. In conclusion, the paradox of self-replicating machines serves as a thought-provoking exploration of technology, replication, and automation. It challenges our understanding of resource management, labor, and the limits of perfection. By examining the potential and challenges of self-replicating machines, we gain valuable insights into the future of technology and its impact on society.